What is up, everybody? Ivlith coming to you with another review video. This time we have a video game called Enshrouded. As you can see, I have about 150 hours on the game, and I gotta tell you, this one is great. Really good. 150 hours, well worth it. Haven't completely finished the game yet, but I had to jump on and do a review. Before I do a review, normally I like to completely finish out a game, but I decided that this one deserved a review as quick as I could get it out. Now, I must say, when I started playing the game, I wasn't 100% sold on it. So, my first playthrough, I went in as melee, started playing the game. My buddy was playing a wand build, and I gotta tell you, I wasn't completely enjoying the game because his wand build at the time was significantly better than my melee build. And a recent update came out where they went in, they listened to the people, the devs went in and they changed it so that melee was equivalent to a caster, was equivalent to the ranger build, archer build, whatever you want to call it. They got a few niche builds in there. I think my buddy now is playing like a dagger caster build. He calls it a shaman. He's a big World of Warcraft buddy. Guy, I'm full melee. I like swinging the big two-handed weapons, so that's something I enjoy. I'm able to do that all the way through the game, or at least to where we are now. So let's go ahead and I'll boot the game up. I'll show you some of the building features. I'll show you some of the character development. I'll show you, well, what more can I say? I mean, let's just take a look. So right off the bat, really easy navigation menu. So if you get in, it boots up really well. As you can see, I'm level 33. I believe max level is level 35, so I haven't quite completed it. But just click play and let's get into the game real quick. Now, what do I compare this game to? I would say for me, it felt a lot like Valheim with much better graphics. And if you read through the lore is actually great. I enjoyed that, and I really enjoy the questing. The questing is pretty in depth. So as soon as you find more followers, you find more lore in the world, it leads you through all this different stuff. If you actually read all the lore is fantastic. It leaves you to imagine some of the things about the game, and it leaves you to, some exact points in the lore as well. And what I mean by that is some things are laid out for you to just know what happened, and some things are left for your imagination. I'll leave that lore to you. I'm not gonna. It's not a lore video, but I'll let you, if you do decide to play the game, to kind of get in and check out that lore and do what you will on it. I would highly suggest this is a really good lore game. If you get in and you actually read all the content, it's nice. But so first things first, and this is a later game menu, but it's got good menu space. I love the double action bar, so that's something that's really great. So if I'm playing, I can swap over potion real quick, swap back, do all that good stuff. Um, Pretty good character menu. I don't like in-depth armor games. I like there to be just a couple of pieces. I like where you can change up pieces. I don't really care too much for sets, so I can change up all of my gear if I'm melee, heavy armor, if I'm caster, same old stuff as any other game. It's got a glider system, so if you enjoy fast traveling in that regard, It does have fast travel points, but it does have a lot of glider points, so you're able to do the exploration well without it seeming like you're having to travel too much on foot. So once you get your gliders and stuff and you get higher up, that's excellent. It does have a grappling hook system. I'm not a huge fan of grappling hook games, but I enjoyed this one. So if that says anything to you, then like I said, I'm not a huge fan, but I enjoyed it on here. Crafting, you have your basic starter crafting. So this is all your basic stuff. And then eventually you get some workbenches, you get some chest. One thing that I do love about this game is there is a chest system where if I want to go over and create something, if it is in the chest, I can create it. So you notice I don't have all this stuff on me, but I'm able to create all these different things. It has a really nice build system. It has a really nice tier system, so as you're going through the game you'll get all these different items, and how you get those items is through finding followers in the game. So you find all these different followers, and I have little houses for them. Once you find them, they're able to craft more things and teach you more things, which leads you into the new area to be able to craft some of these items. As you can see, the building, the weather, everything is, and I have this on max graphics, so those of you that have a lighter PC, this might be a little bit difficult for you to really get a good view of. But I mean, the building in this, me and my buddy built most of this. He did the decorating, I did the building, and I mean, the possibilities are, I wouldn't say endless, but I mean, there is a lot of building that you can do in this game, and I'll probably do a tutorial of my base because we did spend a lot of time on this. Not really a tutorial, but kind of like a view. But we were able to build all this. Took a lot of farming, so if you're a heavy farming guy like I am, it took a lot of farming. But we'll probably edit that out. I enjoyed the farming. Oof, it's going to be hard for you to see the world, but the map is massive. It flows into the tiers really well, so you'll start off in tier 1, you'll start off in tier 2, you go over to tier 3, tier 4, and eventually we're in a new area here, so you can see what's unexplored. It'll go up to tier 5. Has a nice dev system, so if you die, you gotta go back and get your bodies. It's got really good legend on the map. It's got a really good skill system. So for the skills, you go out, you find the elixir wells, you level up, and these elixir wells, which are corruption in the world, if you destroy the roots of the corruption, you get skill points. If you level up, you get skill points. And once you get skill points, I'm not going to beat on this too much, but you can start going into the skill trees. Pretty self-explanatory. You got your tank, mages, healers, assassin, beastmaster, ranger, all this good stuff that you can go through and level. Again, this isn't a video on how to do that, but you get skill points. You use your skill points to get your build going. Your journal, this is all your quest stuff. This is how many survivors there are. So there are 26 survivors. There's lore. You can have multiple bases, so you can have up to 6 bases later on. Your base size is massive. I think we own all that back in there, a lot of it up through this way as well. So I mean, the base side is huge. I mean, I think that the game is just very well done. So if you love exploration, you love building, you love, it's even got like a really good farming system. All this is farm stuff, and that tiers up. It's got some animal husbandry and some animal keeping, so that's good. All these trees, everything are plantable. All this stuff was crafted. All these different building materials were farmed from places that are made out of this building material. So all the exploration really helps. Let's just we'll fix that stairs later. But all of this stuff was found in game. You find the material, you get the crafty items, and we'll fix that later. And everything to get to all this building material was a lot of adventure, which if you like adventure, fantastic. It's got kind of like a Fallout tower system, so if you go and find this tower, you'll be able to see some of these things pop up around the map. You go to these towers. Let's actually go to one now. So this is the fast travel system, so once you find the tower or you set another base, you'll be able to fast travel. And there are different points all over the map for loot. So if you remember a loot point, you can reset the game. Glide system, resting system, so the better your home base is, the better your resting is. I love that. A lot of dangers in the game though, so that red area, if I were to touch that right now, I'd die. A lot of the mobs are recycled, so if you're not a super fan of recycled mobs, you are going to see recycled mobs. But they get increasingly more difficult, and they scale really well, so as you're in the world, those items scale, or those monsters scale. Once you find an item, the item has a chance of spawning between common and legendary, so I think 5 tiers. How you level up your items, I salvage this. If I wanted to upgrade this item, I would have to spend those runes I just got. So these runes, salvage items, find the item you like, use the runes to upgrade the items you need. Like I said, a lot of POIs with mobs in them. So I mean, there's POIs literally anywhere. That's a POI, that's a POI. That tower is considered a POI. I mean, this was considered a POI. There's I mean, just endless POIs. I think this 150 hours I have been us playing the game, and I mean, just, it's not a lot of sitting around. I mean, there's endless stuff to do. Farming, quest. I mean, I think I got 20 quests in my book right now. Tons of different mobs to fight. It is a simplistic kind of swing game. There is a sword and shield system, so you got your one-handed fight with a parry system, so if you block, their parry goes up, which gives you an increased chance to stun them, where you can do more damage. So it does have kind of a block system. It has a casting system for wizards, really good range system. Only thing I found bad about the range system is there's a lot of farming for arrows, but you can find them in the world if you want to use basic arrows or more specialized arrows. But again, fantastic game. I can't really say a lot wrong about it. I guess if I had to say something wrong about it, it is farm heavy. So if you're not a huge farming person, if you don't like farming, then you're going to be farming a lot, especially if you want to build a village like we did. I mean, I probably found 50 or 60 stones that I had to farm up 50 or 60,000 stone in order to build that base. So there was a lot of farming. I'm sure a little bit of the combat. So there's different mobs. There's undead. There's the shroud guys, so the guys that are in that blue area I showed you. There are people that are, what they are called now is, I guess they're kind of like a lunatic. There's these bear type people, so they're part, I guess they're mostly just bear humanoids. There's what else is there? Yeah, I don't think there's too much more than that. There are a couple of like flower NPCs that shoot kind of an acid at you that does damage. There's several different like wolves and stuff like that that fight back against you. So there's a lot of different variations of animals in the game. There's even animals you can tame. So if you're into like taming animals, there's a cat and a dog you can tame. Again, very basic animals like the goats, and sheep, and mammoths, and all that stuff that you can get, and they have uses like milk. Really deep food system, so as you get higher level, you can craft higher level foods. So there's a great food system, which gives you more incentive to farm. Several different building blocks. If you saw back on my workbench how many different building blocks I have, a lot of puzzles. So there's a lot of things like this where spikes are on the ground that you have to make it through. I mean, just a lot of different stuff. I've actually been looking for that sword for some time now. But a lot of different stuff that you can do. Really good climbing system like this. So again, negatives, a lot of farming, a lot of traveling. Takes you a while to get into the game. There is pros, the building, the exploration, the travel system. The combat for me was good, well balanced characters, so a lot more pros than cons for sure. Again, all these different places you can see in here. This is just one POI on just an endless map, and you can see that the POI is not on here. So I mean, there's just endless amounts of things that you can find in the world and explore. A lot of good progression. The NPCs travel your village really well, so they're walking around. There's a lot of interaction, even if you're a solo player. A lot of reason to show off your buildings. So a lot of good stuff. And as you get further on, I mean, there's so much building material and so much different ways you can build your base. And you got to look up some of the builds people do. I mean, they're insane. I'm not a super good builder. I mean, the village that we built was very basic. I mean, it had a couple of houses in it and stuff, but you already see some of the things people build on this game. It's unreal. So if you like that kind of sandbox building style game, I mean, this one's definitely for you. So what I'll start doing is at the end of my videos, the ones that I do review, I will give a rating system. I don't want to be crazy with the rating system because anytime you give something a 10, there can be nothing better. So what I will say with this game, I give this game out of 10 a 7.8. And a 7.8 for me would be a really high score. A 7.8 out of 10 means there's a few things that I find wrong with the game. There's a few things that I would change, but overall it's scoring in the very high end of what I would consider a top tier game for an indie company. I mean, you can't get much better than this. So with that being said, if you like the review, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, helps my channel grow. I'm about to hit 1,000 subscribers, so that'll be awesome. Thank you for watching the video. If you want to see me review more games, again, like I said, subscribe. If you want to see a certain game get reviewed, or you want me to try out a certain game and get my opinion on it, then post a comment. I'll play the game, review the game. Again, I will not review a game until I put some hours into the game, unless the game is just completely terrible and I want to put out a video. I want to try to start getting videos done and reviewed about the time they come out, so I'll be better on releasing those games faster, or those reviews faster as the games come out. So and if there's anything that I need to release on the video, like tips and tricks, I'm going to throw those in the channel as well. But thank you for following along. Hopefully the video helped you, and see you in the next one.